we are, getting ready to go into Cava del Tequila.
We're going to do the Tequila Experience.
We always love tequila. I love tequila, tasting it, all the different varieties, something we really enjoy.
The thing I'm excited to is that you get to have this really lovely like tall boy table. There's going to be a tequilier or a tequilier, whichever way you want to say it.
Explaining all the history, which I want to learn more about it. I know a lot, but I certainly would love to learn more.
Yeah, so we're going to really kind of get a good education. There will be pairings. It's just a beautiful experience, and it's in La Cava del Tequila, which is just beautiful. It's a beautiful space to be in. We love to just go in there and hang out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to get a table in there, but today we have one reserved. It's going to start in about 15 minutes, so we're going to head our way over there. I'm not sure what check-in time is. I do think it's different than a regular dining reservation where there's leeway about how late you are, because you really basically have an appointment with this,
This
educator.
expert.
Yeah. And we don't want to mess up any of their time or any timing of anyone else, especially because I'm not sure if it's just going to be the two of us or if there will be other people also at the table. We'll see. It's going to be amazing.
We'll check it out.
Can't wait.
Excited.
Our first suggestion is to make the earliest reservation possible. Where you're going to be is actually over at La Hacienda, and the restaurant does get busy as the morning or early afternoon moves on, and you're going to want to be in there before it even opens, which was what ours was. Ours was a 10:45 reservation, so it was perfect. Next, I just want to let you know we are not sharing the full experience with you guys today. As much as I would love to take you all along with me, it just doesn't seem cool to put it all out there on the internet, right? However, we have put together what we think are some fun clips that will allow you to get a really good feel for what this experience is like so that you can determine whether this is something that you want to do someday. This was part of Manny's 50th birthday present, a really fun adventure for us, something we've been trying to do for a couple years. So I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Enjoy.
As I said, my name is Cristina. Any questions, please let me know. As you notice, I talk too much.
Not at all.
Okay, so interrupt me if you have any questions. Okay?
Very good. Very good.
Okay. Well, at the end, I always like to start my tastings with a simple question as, what is tequila?
It's an agave spirit
Okay.
from the state of Jalisco in
There you
Mexico.
go. Ahead of Jalisco, we have other four. As perhaps your guys already know, or being that close into tequila, tequila is just it's protected with a denomination of origin owned by the Mexican government, right?
Yeah.
This denomination is given to you thanks to the council. It's approved by the council that regulates tequila.
With the nom number.
Exactly, they are gonna make sure that you're following the Mexican official norm, and they have a number of registration of your brand. Okay. More likely, whenever you see a bottle that is properly sealed, that it has those two symbols on the back, then it's tequila. That means that it was made with blue agave species only, and it was harvested inside of the 5 states with a denomination of origin.
Okay.
That it's, as you said it right, Jalisco is the number 1. That's why the most part of the people always associate tequila with Jalisco, because it's the biggest producer. But as well, Michoacán, Nayarit, Tamaulipas, and Guanajuato, as well with this deal. And they can call it tequila. The only thing is that in Jalisco is the whole state. In the other 4 are only some municipalities, not the whole state.
Not all.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Do you notice any differences in origin, or does it really just kind of?
Yes and no. It's quite tricky. Depends too much on the area. For example, the ones in Nayarit, because it's closer to the coast, usually they have this humidity around.
Yeah.
What it means, perhaps you don't know, the agave doesn't need an irrigation system. It absorbs all the water that it needs during the green season.
Yeah.
So if the agave obtains enough water, like if it has a continuous source of water, it relaxes. The agave leaves the nutrition go to the leaves and gives the heart a little bit more empty in those sugars. Let's say, so they become more herbal in that way. That, for example, in Jalisco, in the central part, for example, where I'm from, where tequila is from, doesn't rain that much, and it's very dry heat. Not like desert, but it's dry heat when it's summer. So more likely the agave to survive, of course, it stresses because it doesn't receive enough water and keeps the nutrition in the heart, which these agaves come sweeter than the ones that you receive from the ones that are absorbing the water needed. That's why there are only 5 states, because somehow these 5 states shares the perfect qualities.
Climate, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For this agave to come
And the
characteristics
soils.
needed. Exactly.
Interesting.
I remember reading about some highland and lowland.
Exactly,
tequilas.
and you can see the soil.
Distilleries.
The highland, if I'm not wrong, is quite a reddish, while the lowlands is more like brown type of soil. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a funny. You can see the difference.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
tell the difference. I'm happy that you guys are like very into this, because
Yeah, we're
I
super
can take
excited.
the tasting to another level.
really
Not like
excited.
baby steps, and I can
Yeah.
specify
We really want to
more
learn.
to this.
We like to taste, but we were excited to learn.
For example, the tasting that I'm telling you that I'm gonna do on Thursday is only of blancos, because
Okay.
for me blanco is a natural form of tequila.
Yeah.
You
You're
know
not
what I
getting
mean?
all the aging.
Exactly.
The barrels. and-
Exactly. It's like the girl with no makeup.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
you can hide anything
Yeah.
inside of them. You know,
I
it's
like
the
that.
natural beauty of the agave.
Yeah.
And Santanera, actually, this is one of the ones that I chose for that tasting.
Yeah.
Santanera, it's one tequila that only makes blancos, because for them the true value is in their agave. They don't use pesticides. It's the only kosher tequila that I know that it's on the market.
Yeah.
Perhaps there are more, but I
That
haven't
you
been
know.
aware.
Yeah.
But at the same time, something that I love from them is they treat each field like one batch, because of the reason that I'm telling you, and you said it right, like, oh, this year they're gonna come less spicy. Okay, for them, each field, of course, those agaves were up together during 5 to 7 years that more likely the agave takes to grow, sharing those properties together. That they were planting these agaves in a soil that it was more rocky. So the agave is more unstable, and again, the stresses.
Yeah.
Of course, it's
Changes the
uncomfortable.
plant,
Exactly. And I'm waiting for that batch to come to see the flavor that it's
how
gonna
fun.
come with. Exactly.
Excited.
Exactly.
It's gonna be rocky.
I know. I think it's gonna be very mineral and sweet, but I wanna.
Yeah, and see if you can taste it. So each bottle of this that you get is gonna be unique to its
This
own.
is the batch Taona.
Okay.
There is another one that it says Santanera Bolengos, Santanera Titan, are the batches, the names that they have assigned. Here is the Taona because it was crushed using the ancestral artisanal type of procedure. Exactly, the stone, as perhaps you know, the Soro also does it. Particularly me, I love the tequilas that are using this type of procedures.
Yeah.
Of course, the juices comes different if you're using transportation bands and needles that will keep washing the fibers in order to extract as many juices as possible.
Okay.
In this case, no, it's more like a traditional type of milling that is going to extract a virgin juice out of it. It's not going to be 100% diluted in those waters, washing those fibers. For me particularly, I love and prefer better the ones that are small batches, small production, ancestral artisanal ways. I think that's what I like mezcal.
Yeah, we love mezcal.
Mezcal can be made ahead of Jalisco out of 9 states of the Mexican Republic, right? And using over 30 different classes of agave species. That's why the most part of the times when we see a mezcal, usually it's an age because, well, we want you to try those agaves in the natural form.
Yeah.
But something that I love from mezcal is what I'm telling you. Ahead of ilegal, not making less illegal, of course, but we have so many different brands that I can offer you different flavors. Because
I mean, we love tequila too, but like the mezcals are like a little adventure, like fun. You get to they're more free.
that's the thing. In tequila, because it's so well known right now around the world, represents Mexico. Of course, all the standards that has mezcal are very specific.
Yeah.
When it becomes to mezcal allows people to be more creative with the recipes.
Exactly.
So you have the mezcal. You know the sacrifices one?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
There are a few that when you see the bottles, they're gonna say pechuga, conejo, borrego. Of course, those are meat. Pechuga is chicken breast. Borrego is lamb. Conejo is rabbit. When they are distilling, from the top of the distillation tank, they hang a piece of that meat.
Okay.
So when the juices, the fermented juices starts boiling, those fumes gets on the top of the column, right?
Yeah.
There is the piece hanging
Of the meat.
Exactly. the fumes basically bake the meat. The meat starts getting baked, it starts sweating, and starts taking the juices out. Those juices fell inside of the liquid and reaches the alcohol. And of course, it's not a drink for vegans.
I thought to do that.
Vegan,
You know what? I'm going to hang a chicken over this. But yeah, so that's amazing. That's interesting. Yeah, not for vegans. I didn't know that.
Exactly. I had the opportunity to talk to one of the owners of Dos Hombres Mezcal, but this guy was. I had to ask, like, somebody is vegan, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, you cannot try this one because he has been in contact with meat in that case." And somehow, and believe me, those alcohols are very rich in flavors and aromas because each family, of course, has their own recipes as well. Not only they hang the meat, for example, sometimes they place. I remember for Gracias a Dios Mezcal, I place bananas, 5 different types of bananas, coffee, cacao, onions, corn. We place like a few things on the pot with the fermented juice, so it just boils it with it. Exactly. And right now, Luna, if you like mezcal, Luna Mezcal, La Luna it's called, offers different flavors as well because they play too much, not only with agaves, they play it also with recipes of mezcales together.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's like friendly going if you haven't had mezcal. It's like ilegal. It's soft to the palate.
Yeah. We got to have Ilegal at Cafe No Sé in Guatemala.
Oh my God! That was the regional.
Yeah, so that's the first
you had
time
the
we had
regional.
it, and it was like
You're
it was
very lucky,
so
guys.
amazing. It was such an amazing experience. It's like one of our favorite places ever. It's just amazing inside
you
of
had
there.
the real experience.
Yeah, and
Have you been there?
Never. I just talk up. I
need
heard
to go.
people with Dominica talking about it. Oh yeah, and then the Café No Sé.
It's so I think it'll always have a place in our hearts because of having had that experience. And
she's the only one. She's the only one that's a new bottle.
Oh, that's too funny.
In general, I chose these 5 tequilas because they have something special to tell about the production. Or, as I said, for example, in Santanera de Valle that is inside. But at the same time, it's one of the 5 different classes of tequilas. As you said it right, more likely everything starts with a tequila blanco. If you place the tequila in contact with wood, from 2 months up to a year, es rosado, 1 to 3 is an añejo, more than 3 is añejo. And this little fella that I'm going to talk about at the end, okay?
Okay.
Because I need you to understand this for
Perfect.
Something that we're going to notice right away if you're moving a little bit your glass is that particular line where your tequila ends and the glass begins that is left in behind. We're gonna call it the crown, as wines, for example, they contain tears and legs. Right? And you can tell the density of these alcohols.
That's very cool. I'm appreciating the light in here. This is probably a better place than over across the way.
And also in La Cava, you know how it gets so crowded. There is not a way to have this chat.
No,
this is perfect.
And we will be standing. It's nice also for me to see.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Something that I love from Santanera as well is look how dense it is.
Yeah.
It's not very light, even though that it's a blanco. And even in texture, you're gonna feel a long, prominent aftertaste. The aroma is quite prominent at the beginning because it's at 82 proof. Okay. But little by little, it's gonna smooth a little bit.
Yeah.
Guys, it can itch. Okay, you can have that itchy sensation here or that tiny bite on the beginning. But if it burns here, if you get that huge bite here, means that bottle alcohols were left behind, and we have to be very careful with those high proof alcohols inside.
Oh, okay.
Distillation, I think, exactly. The aroma of nail polish is not normal, okay?
Yeah, when it smells like nail polish remover, you don't want to drink that.
But for example, this one doesn't smell like that. It has that bright, fresh, clean aroma.
Yeah, it does. See, it's really nice.
And it's pretty sweet. I don't know if because it is so used to.
Yeah, you build up, your
Exactly.
palate changes. But no, even I am usually the one who's like, this one's too harsh or too this. This is really nice, and I can't believe it's a Blanco.
Yeah.
Because normally you don't
A lot of
get
times
such
they're
a
very-
smoothness. And I like the warmth.
In general, what I can tell you about tequila reposado, well, are the tequilas that were aged for a minimum of 2 months. Okay, more likely in these tequilas is where you can find those like very light golds up to gold, like yellows. Something that also you will notice of reposados is that they have this dry type of notes that we consider spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy not because like chilies. Spicy like
like
spices.
cinnamon.
exactly, exactly. That's why I actually gave you this piece of cinnamon. Break it, please. If you can.
If I can.
There you go. You good? I can help.
There we go. I got it. I used to have.
Smell it. As you notice right here, as what I was telling you
Yeah.
about the itch. If you notice, it's itching till this part, but it's not burning.
No. Very different.
These glasses were designed for tequila tasting. Are the tequila reading glass. Allows you to smell the 3 aromas that every single tequila has. On the base is the sweetest. That is the cook agave, is the vanilla aroma.
Yeah.
But at the center, it's more prominent in alcohol. It's sharper.
Yeah.
It's where I receive it.
Yeah, right here. Yeah,
Exactly.
a little
But it doesn't get to this point.
No. bit. No, not at all.
It's just the each the one that it reaches the top.
It's interesting that you don't get that at all from down here.
Right.
You know how it smells for me? Like beef.
Like figs. Oh.
They were saying that it smells like aceitunas. I know I can smell aceitunas. You know the dry martini, what it has, the like green olive.
Yeah.
How you call it? Just olive?
Yeah.
Okay. It smells like olive.
It smells like olives. Yeah,
They
it does.
mentioned it this morning,
It
and
really
now it's
does
on my
smell
mind.
like olives.
It's
Now
funny
that
how
you
you say
said that, it was
something and then it
instantly
gets in your
olives.
brain.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
you
can
really
smell
do.
it, and it's like
Wow, that was amazing.
how it smells.
It's like
how
magic.
It smells. See. And sometimes it helps when you, after you drink, you blow that in
Yeah.
a little bit. Like,
This is buttery.
yes.
It's
I
like-
can taste the spices, like the
Yeah, but it has like a I don't know.
Like bitter
creaminess.
orange.
Yeah.
Here for me it's like bitter orange, but on the top
here.
it's
on the
the
top of my tongue, it has almost a
butter.
creaminess.
yes, like
I
it's
don't know
got
how to
butter.
describe. Yeah, yeah.
Tesoro has like blanco reposado añejo. First of all, to be considered añejo, minimum aging of 1 year.
Okay.
Minimum of 1 year. Whenever you deal with añejos, I don't know if you have noticed that you have to be more open-minded because you can be dealing with something very young añejo
Yeah.
and you want more, month for example, or you can be dealing with something approaching to those base of 3 years with
Almost
extra
getting-
añejos starting.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So in añejos, being a minimum of 2 months, it's where, of a year.
Yeah.
It's when the oak starts transferring more of those warmy, cozy notes inside of that alcohol. So we have less from that mineral herbal agave, more from that warmy, cozy oak. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that I love from these people is that, of course, again, find ways to be creative, find ways to innovate. For us, at least in tequilas, where you have this window open is when you're talking about aging.
Yeah.
Because on age, the only thing that the nom says is that it has to be white oak. Never in the nom says that it has to be new white oak. Very common is to see tequilas aged in whiskey
Yeah.
and bourbon,
Yeah.
as you have noticed. If you like this subject, Corazon has the regular line of Corazon, but they brought a new line called Corazon Expresiones.
Oh.
And they have different barrels aging their reposado. I think it's Buffalo Trace Whiskey Distillery, and their añejo is a whiskey. But I recommend those two in case
Okay.
you want to go deeper. That's
Okay,
also very good.
Yeah.
Guys, don't smell it.
Don't
okay?
smell it.
No, go straight to try it. Then we can smell.
Okay.
Even
Oh yeah. That's
when
like
you breathe out,
wood and dirt.
it's like sea salty breeze when you breathe out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it dries your mouth. Doesn't
It
leave
does.
that
No,
buttery.
it does not.
aftertaste.
Yes. It's dry, but not sharp dry.
No.
Like, you know what
Exactly.
I mean?
But the flavor is pretty sweet at the beginning. If you let it sit
Yeah.
a little bit on the top of your tongue before you pass it, it's more like vanilla.
It is.
Just when you pass it is when it comes, the aftertaste very prominent on that peatiness.
That was a perfect. That's
Yeah,
exactly
because
what
it
it
comes
does.
and covers the
It
whole
kind of
mouth.
comes back again
Yeah.
after you swallow
Yeah.
it, and it changes everything that happened on your tongue before you
Yeah.
swallowed it. This is good.
So it's interesting. It says single barrel, but it's finished in a different. barrel.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why would it be called single barrel if it's finished in?
I imagine it's just because the finish that it
Oh.
has in left right. I wanna believe.
Yeah.
Probably because a lot of them, sometimes they'll blend different
Barrels.
distilled barrels for a specific
Oh,
flavor.
I understand.
So they'll have a single barrel, and that's what you get.
But
It's
for
not
example,
Another, and then
this one,
combine.
and then they might
this
finish
one,
it.
it's this one. They send us different barrel samples, and we chose
Yeah.
the one that we like the most. That's what
That's
I
so
understood so many years from single barrel. But only, at least in tequilas, I have noticed that it's very common for them to blend
Finish.
ages.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And by none, when you blend reposado, añejo, or extra añejo, the classification belongs to the youngest age.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you can be
Yeah, that
blending
makes
one
sense.
añejo and one extra añejo, but the denomination will
Yeah.
be añejo.
Well, otherwise
exactly.
people would put like this much extra. Oh, it's extra.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's not
Exactly, exactly. No, and again, meaning, reposado is one tequila that is being aged a minimum of 2 months. If you blended it with one that is being aged a minimum of 3 years, you're not gonna call it extra añejo. You're gonna call it for the minimum that it has.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's by definition as well.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
That's good to know too.
But the only thing is that, of course, I have noticed that it comes to this point where you have your agave, and that little by little is taking over it.
Yeah, for
So-
sure.
Yeah.
It's when you have, for example, the notes of whiskey, of cognac. Take it, for example, Reserva de la Familia. Reserva de la Familia from Jose Cuervo
Yeah.
is one tequila that is being aged. It's a blend. 7 and 4 years together, 2 barrels.
Okay.
So more likely that tequila, when people try it in blind tastings, is being confused as cognac, and it's considered the
Wow.
cognac of tequilas. For this straight and very strong notes of oak and
Yeah.
those leather that you were saying,
Yeah.
that coffee, that espresso, that tobacco, that is quite a prominent.
Yeah, my mother, she just has, so she has like shelves and shelves of tequilas, but she loves tequila. She knows a tremendous amount about tequilas.
You're gonna
But-
show her the video?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's why. Yeah.
Hi!
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Guys, if you please allow me, this one it's been aged 5 years in New American Oak Barrel. That's the value that you have
New
inside.
American Oak barrels?
Exactly.
Okay.
What I love from extrañejos is, of course, the deep gammas of colors that they present.
Yeah, it's
Very
caramelly.
ambars, very caramel, right? Red, like even orange notes. At the same time, the gammas of aromas. The first aroma, remember, always reveals the sweetest. It's more maple, what the center gives you the spicy sharpie note, like the dry part, and it's more like almonds. And orange, no, apple.
The top part, like up on the top part.
Yeah,
Like in the
oh,
middle.
always the middle will bring you the sharp, the bite
Yeah. Okay.
on the top, because here regular basis evaporates.
fumes
If
are
you
coming up
tilt,
across.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you tilt, they get at the center. If you place your nose and you pull them out, it's alcohol where you're smelling. But
But in that you get.
it has to be more like a
Yeah.
exactly, because if only you can smell, as we said, nail polish,
Yeah. Nail polish.
chemical detergents, right?
That's so funny.
Even
I always say,
sometimes
oh, that
smash.
smells like nail polish. I say that. all the
People,
time.
I don't know how they keep buying for loco, for example. That is not pollution.
Well, yeah,
Which
people
one?
are.
For loco,
Yeah.
it's a can that it's not good.
not good. No, don't
Yeah.
drink that one.
Guys, at the same time, you can bring your nose all the way up. And there, breathe the smell, like deep breath. Deep breath. There you
Yeah.
go. The
That's
third aroma
interesting.
is the aroma of age. Blanco is the only one that is not gonna have the third aroma. And of course, more time you have with contact
You're
with
gonna
it,
get more.
the stronger will be.
like this would be lovely, like after dinner. Have a
more
sip
likely,
this, like love and
for
sip
the
this.
profile that they have, more likely are used as digestives
Yeah.
than a blanco, for example. But in general, it's again just because of the profile. Are more heavy, are more oaky, are more warm, are cozy notes, the ones that are involved in extrañeros. The last one is Casa Dragones Joven. For you to have a tequila joven, I told you that you can blend these three little friends, and by now the category belongs to the youngest in the furnace. Okay. But at the moment that Blanco touches any of the ages or that formula, Blanco in bulk now became a joven. Okay.
Yeah.
Joven is the fifth class of tequila, not as common as the rest because it's not as common to see on the market.
Yeah.
It's not that huge produce as these four friends will be. And even people in Mexico doesn't recognize tequilas jóvenes. They call them tequila joven or tequila oro, young or gold tequila. Exactly.
Okay.
They're called like that. Even Clase Azul, they brought a line. I don't know if it's a special edition. It's something that they will keep doing now. A joven, a gold tequila. Blanco was involved with their extrañejo of them. This one is more likely the same. Casa Dragones blends one tequila blanco and one tequila extra age of 5 years.
Okay.
We're gonna sip
Excited.
it because it says sipping tequila. It's the only bottle that I have seen that it comes with an instruction on how it must be
Sipping
drunk.
tequila. It says right on it.
Yeah.
They're like police people.
I think it's a good way. Oh my god, I love it. It's a good way where Berta Gonzalez, the tequilera master, instructs the people how she wants her profile to be drunk. Not in a margarita, not in a shot. It's a sipping tequila.
This is like a wine.
Because this is more like an instruction of please, let's take out of our mind the fact that tequila must be drunk with some wine. This is a sipping tequila.
Oh, for sure. This is this is my favorite.
For example, this one that you're gonna try took me 13 years for us to wait for the plant to reach the maturity. That's another thing that I love from Real Minero.
I like that.
They give you like a very good information. The Rumbes doses too. I mean, I have noticed that so many of the mezcales are trying to give very good information about what you're gonna drink because the most part of the times, of course, mezcal is a little bit more pricey than tequila, even though that is not aged.
Right, because it's small.
And agaves too. Jabalí agave is quite of a small, so it takes you more agaves to create a same batch that you will look for tequilas, for example.
Very interesting.
I always like to drink it in the traditional kind of holder for one little reason.
Little votive.
The cross underneath, guys, represents the blending of the cultures. More likely it's a pre-Hispanic origin with the agave, with an influence of the Spaniards during the conquer. They not only brought religion, they brought distillation techniques. And thanks to the monks, back on those days, they were distilling the plants of the region, and mezcal was discovered and that was created, let's say.
Beautiful.
Salud.
So this one is going to be. Oh, it is.
The smokiness of the mezcal comes from the way that you take it. Usually earthy beets with wood underneath burning. With rocks, we let them heat with the agaves and we cover. Always the grasshopper.
I know that this was the part I was like, she's going to leave the grasshopper.
I never like push anybody to do something, but you will never have another chance to do it.
Oh,
perhaps,
okay.
perhaps. I hope you do. I hope you do.
Okay.
Guys, if you're allergic to shellfish, I just recommend not to. Okay? So if
don't
you
have
are
that
not,
excuse.
this is my little friend from the pre-Hispanics. Again, some reflections of the mezcals and the way of speak and the way of dress and the way of eat. So,
Shoot him up.
it's not a peel. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Don't think what it is.
Very good.
That's what I do. I don't think what it is.
It is actually really, it's brighter than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
This is being salted with chili salt and lime.
It's the lime.
Now, drink the mezcal and finish it with the orange. The orange usually will be the best friend now of mezcales.
It's so good.
The smokiness of the mezcal will be neutralized by the citrus of the orange.
Interesting.
In Mexico City, they give me hibiscus flower. boiled hibiscus flower with tajin on the top to share with my mezcal. And it also was pretty good.
That's interesting. It is very good because it doesn't. Unlike what like I feel like with tequila, when you do salt and lime, it's like to cover it and change it. This actually opens up the flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, they're bright and fresh.
Yeah, it takes it.
Again,
changes
agave.
it. Yeah.
Bright, fresh, floral, fruity.
I've never heard of the orange growth.
It's always recommended.
So nice.
And even orange, I recommended it with reposados as well. So many reposados. As
Just to change, not cover, not,
Exactly. No.
What does
Miguel had it ready for us.
Thank you. Oh, Miguel. Oh, even a little margarita too? So that we have.
So we have one more margarita before we go. I don't want to let you go with empty hands.
Oh, okay. Very nice, very nice.
And at the same time, guys,
I'm going to put the guacamole in my
I was
No, well, really.
All right, so
Here we are.
here we are. He always says that.
What?
I know.
You said all right. Usually I say all right, and you get mad at me for saying all right.
It's true. It's true.
And you're like,
Okay.
all right.
All right, clearly we've already been to the tequila.
There it is again.
So, we just came out of the Tequila Experience. One thing I want to say first off, it was not at Cava del Tequila, which is where it used to be. It is now over across the way at the
Across the
Hacienda, which was better.
It was actually better, and here's why. Because we were actually the only ones in there having that experience.
Yeah.
There wasn't a big loud restaurant. There wasn't all this commotion. There wasn't. And it was bright and airy and felt very relaxed, very one-on-one.
And the vibe and the beauty of the space was just as great as it is in La Cava, but again, without the noise, the chaos that you get over there. And we got to sit instead of stand because this thing lasted, I'm not kidding, a full hour and a half, hour 45.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I honestly don't know how.
It went
I
so
made this.
quick.
Oh God, it was
I
so
was
fast.
like,
it was so
it was, but it
fascinating.
wasn't. Like, we enjoyed every minute of it. We savored it all. We took our time. We enjoyed it. Our hostess, the tequilier, was extremely knowledgeable, super awesome, very just amazing. Just
Cristina.
amazing.
Cristina was her name.
Yeah. So, so we didn't feel rushed, but then you look up and you're like, wow, it's been, what, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
Oh.
Like, wow.
Oh, for sure.
How did that happen? But super great experience.
I got to tell you, this isn't cheap. This is expensive. It's $150 a person. And where does that money come? Why is it so expensive? So you're tasting 4 really high quality, in fact,
5.
well, 5
6.
in the end.
6.
Well, if you count the margarita at the end.
No, the mezcal. There were 5 glasses, and then she poured the 6th one.
You're right.
It was the mezcal.
Yeah, he's right. I'm wrong. He's right. So you're getting, but several of them you can't even get. Like, I know of at least 3 you can't even get in the United States. So it was a very unique experience of getting to try things that, honestly, it's not like I could have put this together in my living room. And even if I did, it would cost way more than that. Because by the pour, each thing would be
bottles.
so expensive.
This exchange of information and knowledge that Cristina had was just amazing. Like, she talked about not only the exact ones we were tasting, but sister ones or related ones, or, well, this one comes from this family and his brother does this one over here. Just very deep, very knowledgeable. It was amazing.
It was like if you got to sit down with someone who was a complete expert in something that you love.
That's what it was.
And would like to know more about. We literally sat down at a table for an hour and a half, hour 45, I don't know what it was, and had a one-on-one, ask any questions, let's talk, let's hang out, and we just got her all to ourselves.
Yeah, which for the price point, let me tell you, that was worth it to be by ourselves. Apparently the next one coming in later in the day, there's like 11 people.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all part of the same party. I doubt it.
No.
But I think it'd be a much different experience with that many people.
Yeah, I think you would still get a ton of knowledge
it
and
would
stuff.
still be
But
great.
ours felt intimate. I felt like I could interject my stories and your stories
I know.
and
We
our
invited her over.
thoughts. And
Like,
yeah, she's going to come over. We're hanging out. No. But like, she was truly a delight. And I feel like we made a friend. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I now have a new friend, and her name's Cristina. And she's like from, Cava del Tequila. And I'm really excited about that. Like,
she's
she was so
from
sweet.
Tequila.
And that's the other thing too, is she was from Tequila, Mexico, and she was just so, I loved her stories about like her grandmother's kitchen and her grandmother telling her go and get a job and all this stuff. And I don't know, I said this when we were getting up, this is the best experience I've ever had at Disney World.
Yeah.
I felt
so.
like it was, I like to
I'm
learn.
just blown away.
Yeah,
And I love
to
tequila.
learn.
And I think my knowledge level is above average for tequila.
Oh,
just in
100%.
general.
Yeah. Oh, no, there's no
And
doubt.
I was just blown away by what I learned. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that I was very concerned. I'm not going to lie. I was super concerned that we were going to go in there and that Manny was already going to know all the things that were taught, and that he was going to feel like, with the exception of the fact that obviously there's value in the drinks that you're drinking, that he was going to feel like this just wasn't worth it. And I was prepared for that. I was mentally prepared for, okay, this could either be great or it could kind of like I said to you afterwards, it was everything I hoped it would be, but it surpassed my expectations. And he was like, what does that mean? I'm like, it's everything I hoped it would be, because I hoped it would be this incredible sit down with a professional one-on-one, the two of us and that person, tasting tequilas that we've never tasted before and learning things we've never learned before. But my expectation was that it was probably going to be less than that. There was probably going to be 2 or 3 other parties there, and that it was going to be all tequilas that Manny's already tasted and already knows the story behind, and that he was going to walk away feeling like, yeah, I can see how that was cool for someone who doesn't know a lot about tequila. But no, this was really cool if you don't know a lot about tequila, and it was really cool if you do know a lot about tequila.
But she also sensed the audience, really.
100%.
Like at the beginning, she said, oh, okay, well, we'll take it. Once we started talking about
she was like, I can go deeper.
She's like, okay, I'm going to take it
Yeah.
a different level.
I think that made it fun for her too.
If you're brand new, didn't know anything about it, it could be for you as well. I think they would help bring you in and cater to that as well.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, the other thing I want to throw out there is that if you're someone who knows nothing about tequila, but you're curious and you want to have just a really amazing, genuine experience and an introduction into the world of it, do this, because I don't know as much as Manny, and I was not at all intimidated by this class, or I didn't feel like when I said it tasted like butter and nobody else said it tasted like butter, I was like, oh, but I'm like, that's what, and she was like, you know what? That's the thing, is everyone's experience with it is theirs. And like, she made me feel so comfortable to talk about what I was thinking and what I was feeling, and ask questions that might be dumb. And maybe they were, I don't know, but I got my answers. But I got my answers and I didn't feel dumb for asking. I felt comfortable. And so it's just fantastic.
That was the setting.
Yeah. So I didn't think I'd be at Disney World talking about a really amazing tequila experience, especially because we're from New Mexico, which is where, I mean, okay, it might be
like
stereotypical, but we like our tequila in New Mexico. And I'm in Florida, and I had the best tequila experience I've ever had.
I would agree.
Yeah. Worth it?
Yeah.
Expensive?
Yeah.
Worth it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It was worth it.
He paid the bill, so gotta do it.